I am Jean Kim, living in Seattle, Washington, and I was born in North Korea, Hamhung City, Hamgyeongnam-do Province, and I came to the United States April 1970. I was born in 1935. That makes me 81 years old this year. I was a child while Korea was occupied by Japan. Well, we lost our language and culture and everything else. And as a child, before grade school, I had to learn how to speak, how to write in Japanese. I was very aware of Korean people lost their country and their rights and everything. And Japanese occupation took everything away from Korea, all the resources, and even taken young men to the battlefield and young girls to the battlefield as comfort women. And the Korean people were highly resistant and resentful to Japanese occupation. My father was a wealthy landowner, so I think he has to give whatever the Japanese government wanted in order to survive and keep his property. And many wealthy people did that at that time. And because they did that, they were condemned as a pro-Japanese afterwards, and maybe in those days too. But to maintain your own property, I don't think they had any other choice. Otherwise, they would lose their property and be imprisoned or killed or something like that. I remember 1945, and my oldest brother, he came home shouting, "We got independence," and then we had a radio, a small box radio, and out of that radio, the Japanese king was announcing the defeat. And he was so happy announcing Korea got independence. And I remember that very much. I was 10, age 10 that time. And then right after Korea got independence, communist regime settled in. A few minutes of joy, chaos settled in. They begin to kill the landowners. And my father's friends were beaten to death or drowned in the well. Well, deep well, you draw water out of it. My father wasn't killed. His property, a lot of things are taken away. But I heard he did something good to the community. He gave land to build the school. And his laborers who worked for him on the land, rice field, they brought rice secretly at night. We didn't have any because everything was taken away. And they survived us a little while. Before Korean War broke out, we could not survive there, so we escaped. So whole family left North Korea, but then we couldn't leave openly as a family, 2 by 2s. Gradually sneaked out of the village. I and my second oldest brother was the last one to escape. We had about 3-4 years life of struggle because we left everything in North Korea, and as a landowner you cannot carry land on your back. Each one of us carried a backpack, not much, because we had to walk a lot to cross the border. And when we arrived, we didn't have a home. In North Korea, we had 3 homes. Here, no home, no job, nothing. The refugee life was hard. The Korean War was worse than that. I remember hearing shooting sounds, and we heard the war broke out, and my sister-in-law and I on foot went to look for my Army brother, Army soldier. He was a first lieutenant, and we went to Korean Army headquarters. They were emptied out already, either to the war or retreated or whatever. Nobody was there. So the war was just a terrible thing to experience. Of course, we couldn't stay in the Army apartment because we were refugees from North Korea and we were Army family. We had a double reason to be killed by communist soldiers. So we were running here, there, try to escape, and try to eliminate my brother's Army clothes and any trace that shows that we were Army family. Somehow we escaped to countryside. I had to make a living. I was 15, and I followed village women who carry white rice to the city, sell that, and bring some other item that country people buy. September 28 retreat day came, and I happened to be in Seoul City. And that night, UN shooting to force communist soldiers that were hiding in Namsan Mountain to chase them away or kill them. They were shooting toward the city, and how can you shoot only them? Shoot everybody else together, and burn the whole city. And the communists, retreating communists, set the fire on the city. Seoul City was just turned into a battlefield. And I happened to be there that night. I took a bushel of rice and sold it and ready to buy rubber shoes tomorrow. And I was staying at my relative house inside of a city. And that night, every house was on fire. I had to escape. And the following morning, I had to go to a place where we used to stay because we hid some things there, our belongings. And then I had to cross so many bodies to get where I need to go. And just that area was covered by bodies. And everything burned down and destroyed down. Only thing I saw was a few chimneys, a few of them standing, and then a few wells standing. Otherwise, everything was down and covered with the bodies. And when I got there, the place we were staying, everything burned down to ashes. And that's why I don't have any photo before Korean War, all burned down. My name is Jean Kim. This is my Korean American women's story.